The pussification of men is a major issue, at least according to Tomi Lahren it is. She did us all a favor and went live on Instagram to make a 15-minute long PSA for boyish men, and in today's episode of the MGTOW Academy show, I'll be playing through that 15-minute video, making any comments, criticisms, responses, whatever that I feel necessary to add in hopes of enlightening you and making connections back to the idea of going your own way if possible. Side note, before we start, I record clips out of order for the show just to make the production part easier, and it seems that the audio from the main portion of the show where I actually go over the video, it seems like it's a bit off. The sound depends on the device you're playing, volume level, if you're wearing headphones or not, and all that stuff. So it's different for everybody, but regardless, I do apologize if the audio sounds a bit weird in some parts. It's not going to be unbearable to listen to, but you can tell that it's a bit off in some parts. I'll have this issue hopefully fixed in the next episode. So once again, I do apologize for that. But aside from that, I now ask that you kick back, relax, get yourself comfortable because the MGTOW Academy show is starting now. Alrighty, so I have the video from Facebook, from her Facebook page pulled up. And if you're watching this on the video platform, you should be able to see that. A couple things I want to make clear before I get started. Number one, I'm not someone who has watched Tomi Lahren all the time. I haven't, watched her all the time to know, what she's like and whatnot. So this is actually my first time, being honest, sitting down and watching a Tomi Lahren video like this. Am I even saying her name right? I don't know, whatever. So this is my first time sitting down for a Tomi Lahren video. I hope I'm not butchering her name. And I want to make that clear. I want to be honest with you guys before moving forward. If you guys, you listening to this have seen her before, you watch her regularly, I want to make that clear. So in case I say anything stupid that, might be incorrect in the future of this video, that's why. I want to be upfront and honest about where I stand on these things, but still, I felt obligated to make a podcast in regards to this video she posted. And speaking on the note of the video, keep in mind that this is the uploaded version of the Instagram Live, as in this is the live version. So there may be some portions where her voice may be kind of laggy. That's not me. My audio is not that sucky. Come on, man. I've invested so much money into my microphone. All right, so it's not me. It's, the video itself. So don't blame me. Blame Instagram or Tommy or whoever, okay? Not me. And, of course, as always, the links to the video itself, the research studies, whatever they'll be linking, referencing, that'll be available to you in the description to check out for yourselves. So before we embark on our journey of this 15-ish minute video, which will probably be cut down, okay, I'm not going to go over everything, okay, I'm probably going to skip some parts to avoid copyright and to not waste your time. Before we do that, I want to get you guys on the same page. Who is Tomi Lahren? Lahren. That name is low-key throwing me off at the end. Hopefully I'm getting it right. I'm going to say Lahren. Tomi Lahren, according to Google, is an American conservative political commentator and former television host. She hosted Tommy on The Blaze, where she gained notice for her short video segments called Final Thoughts, in which she frequently criticized liberal politics. Okay, so she is a American commentator who criticizes the left, from what I'm understanding. Now, that we are all on the same page, let's go ahead, waste no more time, and get this party started.
What's up?
What's up? Yo, it's your boy, MGTOW Academy.
I'm going to let you guys trickle in before I start talking because this is important.
I'm sure it is important. I'm here.
So, waiting for you guys to get here. So, normally I do final thoughts and I do Instagram lives and I do rants about politics. There's plenty to talk about in politics right now. Do it every day. It's a great time. But something, as of recently, has been on my mind. And I consider myself a teacher, a helper, someone who could possibly inspire people to be better. So with that being said, this is a PSA for all the men out there and all the boys who think they're men, but they're actually boys.
Uh-oh.
This is going to be the summer of canceling boys.
What?
Now,
all right, well, that's an interesting start. First and foremost, Tommy, I'm assuming, like with most people, that she has good intentions with this PSA for boyish men, as it's titled. So I'm just, everything from this point on forward, we're assuming that there are good intentions behind this, which I'm sure there are. But this is, once again, my criticism, my commentary, feedback, response, whatever the hell you want to call it, to her video. All right. The summer of canceling boys, canceling men. One thing I'm noticing right off the bat is the words boys and men. You know, you might hear the saying, well, that's what separates the boys from men. You know, you might hear that every now and then. Because that's a saying, you know. I've been involved with the whole relationship, female male dynamic shit, whatever you want to call it, for a while now. Before even doing MGTOW Academy, I was still involved with the whole realm, the whole sphere, if you will, of dating. I offered before doing MGTOW Academy. You see, I offered advice for long distance relationships, email correspondence, that sort of thing. I kind of kept in touch, got my toes in the water to understanding certain aspects and dynamics concerning relationships, the male part, the female part. And sometimes I noticed things along the lines of this, of girls asking questions. For example, questions you might hear are, well, why do some guys act like this? Or why do boys act like the point I'm trying to get to, I'm trying to verbalize it as best as possible, is that sometimes I hear people, girls really, classifying boys and men, like who's a boy and who's a man, that type of a thing. And sometimes that can be a legitimate thing. I can understand that. But at another point, I can also see this being used as a shaming tactic. You might have heard that term getting used a little bit, maybe not. Long story short, is a shaming tactic, something used to shame a guy, often into coercing him into doing something that the coercer wants to do. So for example, if a girl wants to have a guy help her with something. Say, for example, she needs help carrying some heavy grocery bags, right? And then she says, oh boy, I sure could use a real man to help me carry these grocery bags. All right, like let's just say that is the scenario, okay? That would be an example, I suppose, of what I'm talking about, Someone saying, oh, well, that guy isn't a man, he's a boy, and things like that. The terms, the names, that is something I noticed right off the bat with this, is boys and men, that separation right there. How does this connect to MGTOW? Why the fuck would a MGTOW care about boys and men? I'll tell you why. Because you're going to come across people, guys and gals, for that matter, who are going to say, well, you're not a real man. What the fuck does a real man mean? And look, I know that Tomi didn't say this, but I'm just going off topic because it's relevant, all right? You're going to hear some folks say, well, that guy's not a real man. He's not. What the fuck does that mean? What is a real man? All right? As long as I'm concerned, all right? Last time I checked, everyone comes out of a human, right? No one here, hopefully, is made in a laboratory, is like a bionic man robot combo. No, as that last time I checked, we're all male, man, whatever. So that's my definition of it. Now, going further and connecting it to the concept of MGTOW, men going their own way, doing whatever they want. That's the concept of not caring about what other people think and doing what makes you happy. My recent philosophy in life has been that when I die, I die. And I want to look back on my life, on my deathbed, happy that I did everything I wanted to do. And part of that involves not caring, not giving a shit about what other people have to say, and not wanting to conform to the definitions of what is a man or a boy or anything. Okay, as I said, I know Tomi did not even talk about this stuff too much in depth. This is just something I felt, like I wanted to share. I wanted to talk about this. So that's why I'm saying it. So guys, to connect this back to MGTOW, don't give a fuck about what anyone says about being a man or a boy or anything. As far as I'm concerned, you're a guy, and that's it. All right, now, in other people's books, you may be real man or a fake man. I don't know. Okay, I'm not them. As far as I'm concerned, you need to worry about yourself, and that's it. Not what other people have to think about you. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Now, let's go ahead and continue with Tomi's PSA for boyish men.
Now, from my own personal experiences and the experiences of all of my friends, which range in age from 24 to 36.
Wow.
We all got issues. Now, I will also say this. All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on.
Congratulations.
Almost every single one of them have an issue with men.
Ooh, that's interesting. All right, well, I'm pretty sure before she started talking about this stuff, like all my friends are 36, they're successful, attractive, that type of stuff. I recall her just a few seconds ago momentarily saying that they all have issues, which is, if she means that they all have issues of their own, problems they need to work on, That's great. I respect that. I respect it when people come forward and they're open about what is wrong with them. I got issues, and I'm sure you have issues as well, my friend. You, the person listening to this. All right, we all got issues. We all got to try our best, our absolute best, to improve on those issues for the well-being of ourselves, at the least, right? I have my own issues. You know what? An issue I have is I eat too much damn sugar. All right. I promise you, after this, it's like what? 11? Yeah, it's 11 o'clock at night. So there's a good chance I'm going to go to the kitchen and like inhale a box of or a package of Oreos or chocolate chip cookies. It's unhealthy. It's bad, but I have a sugar addiction. That's my imperfection. Okay. There's that. Sometimes I'm undisciplined, unproductive. There's also that. Okay. That's just an example. Not everyone's perfect. And the fact that she's, from what I'm seeing, upfront about that is something I respect. So good job. Now let's go ahead and continue on. She left off with the part where they were all attractive, successful, and all having problems with men. Let's go ahead and continue.
And you have to start looking at that and thinking, if an age range of that many people, including myself, living really all over the country and being blonde, brunette, short hair, long hair, tan, super white, super pale. These women range in every body type and everything.
All right.
They're all successful. They're all intelligent. They're all good people. But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think it might not be us.
Really?
It might be you. It might be men. It might be men. Now, I've often talked about the pussification of America and how men are no longer men. I talk to my mom about this a lot, and she says, well, maybe it's just the guys in Texas. Maybe it's just the guys in Los Angeles. Maybe it's just the guys... It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. Quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this.
Whew, all right, that was interesting. By the way, that audio skip thing, that's exactly what I was talking about earlier, about the Instagram live thing or whatever it was, getting funky. That's not me, that's her. It's not me, it's her, I promise. Okay, I want to make that clear. Guys, like I said, I've been involved in the whole scene of female to male dynamics, if that's what we're going to call it for now. I've been involved in that scene for a while now. I think maybe it's about 4 to 5 years, maybe longer. I don't know. I lost track. But I've seen this stuff before. Okay, I've seen videos, posts on the internet, like forums or whatever, stuff just like this, but with a different title. It's maybe about girls, maybe it's about guys. It could be, maybe it's not me, maybe it's the boys, maybe it's the men, maybe it's not the men, maybe it's the girls, maybe it's the women, Okay, here's my take on what I'm seeing so far, folks. This kind of connects back to something that I'm sure you're all familiar with at this point, because we've seen it a ton, is that term toxic masculinity being tossed about very frequently on the internet waves, right? And my beef with the whole term toxic masculinity is just about every single claim or point that I see, that's talked about in toxic masculinity. It doesn't seem like masculinity that's toxic. It seems like humanity. It seems like just someone being a shitty person. Like, why does it have to be a gendered thing? And this goes in both directions. I'm not saying that we can say, hey, you can't talk about men like that. That's sexist. And then I'll make a video saying, here's a PSA for girly women. Like I don't want to be like we got to hold everyone accountable. Okay. This goes both directions. Okay. I am honestly getting a little bit sick of hearing the whole, well, maybe it's the girls, maybe it's the guys. Yeah, look, I'm sure that there are some issues that are specific to a gender or specific to a sex. I get that. But I mean, I've seen this a couple times before, and every single time, about every single damn time I've seen this, it's just humanity, I guess. Toxic humanity. That's what I would call it. Toxic humanity. People being shitty in general has nothing to do with a specific gender or specific sex. That's just my opinion. That's what I'm seeing so far. So based off what I'm seeing so far, it's not men or girls. It's a matter of people just being crappy in general. That's what I'm seeing so far, but I haven't seen the whole thing. Let's continue.
Country in the age range of about 20 to I think about 55, maybe even 60. A lot of men are trash. A lot of men know how to treat women. A lot of men don't know how to really, quite frankly, pull their heads out of the sand and pay attention. So
I could say the exact same thing for girls. I really could. I could say, well, women are trash all over this country. You know, when you think about it, they're all trash. They gotta pull their heads out of their asses. Man, I mean, like I said, this is the type of crap that only divides us further and further apart. You know, I may be MGTOW, but my reasons for going MGTOW, it's not because I hate women. It's because I think the legal risk, the financial risk that comes with long-term cohabitation with women is not worth the investment. It's not worth the rewards. Okay, all the risk that comes associated with it, in my opinion, is not worth it. After looking at it continuously for all this time, I still think it's not worth it. Okay, so this has nothing to do with my hatred or whatever of women. You know, and I want to make that clear. That's exactly why I'm against all this, if you would call it divisive language, if you will. Okay, it's all the men are always like this, women are always like this. Where the hell does that get us? You know, like, why can't we just make it like I understand how you may notice a pattern with people, with guys or with girls, but honestly, a lot of the stuff that I notice in girls I'll also notice in guys, which I've come to the conclusion is that, hey, maybe people are just shitty in general. Maybe it's something that happens to everyone, you know? But that's just my opinion. You know, if you have a different one, I will, of course, I'm accepting of it as long as you're respectful about it. I understand. But as I've said, yeah, I could say the exact same thing she just said for girls. And I mean, I feel like it's just us going back and forth, the guys and the girls going back and forth endlessly till the end of time. You know, that's what I low-key feel like whenever I see these things. And when I say I see these things, as in they're plural, it's because, as I've said, I've seen these types of videos, these posts multiple times before, only to reach the same conclusion. The only reason I'm making a podcast about this specific, this specific video is because it is a recent one that's kind of still fresh, relatively new. And that's why I'm making it, to make a point. But like I've said, I've seen these things a couple times before, and that's how I feel about it so far. Let's keep trucking on, folks.
I am going to help you.
All right.
These are some of the things that I've experienced, and these are some of the things my friends have experienced. I'm just going to lay a few things out. They haven't all happened to me. Some of them have just happened to my friends. A lot of them have happened to me. So the first thing, and I've made notes. By the way,
she got notes. She's got notes.
How invested I am in this, because I've been thinking about this for about 2 weeks solid now.
2 weeks. Goddamn.
First question for men. If you like a girl, if you're even somewhat interested in a girl, you need to ask yourself this question. Are you single?
Yes.
No, I don't mean are you kind of single, seeing 5 people, dating somebody, still kind of in a relationship, kind of broken up, kind of on again, off again, kind of married, kind of divorced.
Is this question for guys or is this question for girls? Because I could ask the exact same thing for women and it would make total sense. It makes sense for guys and it makes sense for girls. Okay. As I've said before, that's kind of what I'm talking about, guys. Like, I hope that you're somewhat seeing my point. I understand that not everyone will agree with me 100%. I get that. But I hope that at least to a certain extent, you are seeing the point I'm making now. Like, I could say the exact same thing. I could ask that question, make a video, PSA for girls. Are you 100% single? Are you 100% single, not married, not talking to this many guys? I could say the exact same thing. Right? So I want to make that clear. All right, let's move forward.
Are you actually single?
Yeah.
That means single. You have nobody. You have no complications. You have no attachments. You are actually single. That is the first question, believe it or not, that needs to be asked.
Really?
And ladies, you should be asking it, because in 2020, it's not a given anymore that a guy that's actively pursuing you is actually single. So
wow.
That's the first thing. The second thing that I think is very
Wait a minute. Whoa. Pump the emergency brakes on the choo-choo train. What just happened? I think, like, it sounds like to me that she's not talking about a serious commitment. It sounds like a pump and dump, you know? Like this guy, like the guys that she's describing are those guys that don't go for long-term relationships. They're the guys who do pumping and dumping, short-term, one-night hookups, one-night stands, whatever. That's what it sounds like. That's what it really, really, really sounds like. I mean, I'm not sure, but that's what it sounds like. Just a food for thought.
Seem to understand. There are very few women out there, and I'm speaking from personal experience as well as from all of my friends and all the women, quite frankly, that I talk to. There is not a woman out there that wants to be your pen pal.
What?
She doesn't want to get your texts.
Oh,
Your
man.
morning texts, your good night texts, your random through the day texts,
Oh,
if
shit.
they don't follow up with a plan to actually, here's the kicker, in person, hang out. Now, I know what you're saying. Oh, it's COVID. People can't hang out in person. This has not been a 4-month problem. This has been a 5-year problem that I've experienced with men and my friends have experienced with men. Women do not want a pen pal. We don't want a texting pal. We quite frankly don't care if you text us all day or if you don't text us at all. If you're not going to make a plan to actually see us in person, not interested.
You know what I'm not interested in? You know what makes me not interested? Women that are just confusing as hell. What do you mean, MGTOW Academy, confusing as hell? Well, I'll tell you what I mean. I mean women that just give signals like this and that, like it doesn't even add up. All right. Oftentimes, when it comes to trying to read, if that makes sense, reading the signals you're getting from a girl, it's like a guessing game. It's like driving an F1 racing car blindfolded. You know, it's like trying to drive an airplane, or not drive an airplane. I'm not that stupid. Fly an airplane, excuse me, blindfolded with all your instruments out, right? That's what it feels like sometimes. It's like a guessing game, you know? Like the signals, like, oh, she clearly likes me. Oh, shit, she don't like me. You know, like the signals are just coming left and right. They don't make sense. That's what I don't like. And I'm making a point again. I can say the exact same thing she's saying for girls. All right. They don't like girls don't like pen pals and whatnot. Neither do I. I don't like a pen pal. I want to hang out with someone in person, at least when it's safe to do so again. Yeah, seriously, I hate being stuck inside. But yeah, you get the point. I can agree to that. I don't like a pen pal either. I want to meet up in person, talk, chat, whatever. And it's good. You know, open communication. It's important. You know, having clear communication with your partner. Yeah, that's great. Making plans, sticking to them, sticking to your word. That establishes trust, which is the foundation of any relationship, whether it's like a romantic one or not. Yeah, I get that. Okay, but like I said, there's things guys don't like either, and I feel like this can go on and on forever to both sides. You know, girl, we don't like pen pals. We don't like having a guy who just texts us here and there. I don't like that either. I've had that happen to me many times before. And it's annoying as hell having to talk to someone. Like what in person it's one thing, and then online when they're texting you, it's another whole different ballgame. I don't like that shit either. All right. Whew.
And if you do have a woman out there that just wants to be your pen pal, it's probably because she has a boyfriend or a husband or a wife or whatever.
Simp. Or maybe not.
We don't want a pen pal. But that also leads me to my second point.
Shit.
This is going to be backwards for you guys. Make plans.
Plans. All righty.
Make a plan.
Emphasis.
Do not assume that you can text somebody randomly in the middle of the day, what are you doing? Or text them at midnight or 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or even just within hours of when you actually want to see them and think that they're going to be available. I personally, once I get home and I take my makeup off and I'm watching TV, I'm no longer interested. So if you didn't make a plan earlier in the day, or better yet, a day or 2 or 3 in advance, I'm not interested. I don't want to hang out anymore because that ship has sailed.
Sailed. That ship has sailed. All right. Well, that last little bit right there sounded like I have a couple things to say. Okay, look, if someone texts you at 3 a.m., man, I'm not responding to you. Okay, and I think a lot of people can agree to that. I mean, no, I'm sleeping. This is my time, me time. I got to go dream, right? I got to cuddle with my teddy bear and go to dreamland. I'm not going to answer your text or whatever. But, I mean, a text during the day. I mean, like, is she saying she's not going to respond to that? Like I can't do that. What am I supposed to do? Carrier pigeon? How am I going to talk to you? A phone call? You need a phone call? I like phone calls. I prefer phone calls over text. I like talking over texting. But that bit where she's talking about the texting, it seemed like a little bit too extreme. Like, I mean, I got the vibe that she doesn't want to be texted at all, which sounds crazy. Now, there might be a misunderstanding, but that's what I felt. I swore I could have felt that. I low-key got the vibe that I'm just hearing expectations and standards that are unrealistically too high. I'm not saying that they are. I just got the vibe. You know, I'm just saying. Not making any claims. I'm just saying I kind of felt like those standards were a little bit too unrealistic or high, whatever. Let's keep going forward.
Make a plan. I want to hang out with you at this time. It doesn't have to even be a date. I want to see you at this time. Are you free at this time?
No.
Or when are you free? I will accommodate my schedule to see you.
Yep.
When are you free?
Open communication.
I want to see you.
That's good. Uh-huh.
I know it's not rocket science, but men of 2020, it seems like it's pretty difficult for you to figure out.
You know what else ain't rocket science? Girls approaching guys. Let me tell you something that pisses me the fuck off. Men and women are supposedly equal, but I gotta be the one who's gotta ask out the girl to this dance, or I gotta be the one to ask you on the date. Why? Are we equal? Why can't you ask me out? Women of 2020, don't you get it? It seems to be something that women of 2020 don't seem to get. You know, like I said, I can see the exact same thing for every single grievance that's pointed at me. I can ricochet a new grievance right back at you, or not ricochet, because that would be the same. I could, shoot a new one back at you. You get the point? Okay. For every grievance shot at us, I can make an exact opposite one for y'all. All right. Y'all don't like it how we don't stick to plans, which I don't know who does that really, because that's just a shitty, characteristic of a person, not of men, but just a person in general. But hey, whatever. Yeah, like I said, open communication. That's important. And speaking of communication, women of 2020, you guys need to be a lot more, why don't you ask us out? Why don't y'all do that? Hey, maybe I'm not the most handsome looking fella. Fine. How come you don't ask my friends out? They're not ugly. They're not stupid. They got something going for them. And I don't think I've ever seen a girl ask them out. Explain, explain that. I want to know, women of 2020, why does it have to be that way?
I'm not a feminist, so please don't take this as a feminist rant. I love men. I think men are great.
I mean, wait, no, not like that. You know what I meant. I'm not gay.
And I'm just trying to help you out, because I think there are a lot of really great guys out there who need a little help. And I don't think that there are a lot of women that are stepping up and saying these things and not FaceTime me, I swear to God. Quite frankly, I don't think that there are a lot of women that aren't raging feminists, that don't look like Lena Dunham. They're saying these things to you. So I'm going to go ahead and say them because they need to be said. I am really so sick of my friends having to deal with trash men. I am tired of dealing with trash men.
I'm tired of dealing with trash people. Trash men, trash girls. I'm tired of dealing with trash people. I'll tell you that. I think everyone's tired of dealing with trash people. I mean, there's a couple things universally that everyone is probably tired about. COVID, 2020, and trash people. Yeah, we're tired of it. I gotta make my own sound effects, all right? I don't have a soundboard. It's my sound effects on the budget. Please don't laugh at me. But yeah, seriously, I'm tired of trash people. I'm tired of trash men and trash women. Tired of trash people.
I'm going to help you out. Make plans. So let's go through these lists again, because I know y'all love a list. Number 1, are you single? Number 2, make a plan. Nobody wants a pen pal. We want to actually see you. If not, don't text us, because it's a waste of our time and we don't want to see it on our phones.
So how the hell are we supposed to contact you? Like that's okay. So I think I was right. So don't text you. We can't text you. I got to send you an email. Hey, baby, you want to come meet me down by the Motel 7 at 9 p.m.? Like what? Email you that? Really? Like, I don't know. Email, carrier pigeon. I show up to your house at 3 a.m. Well, you don't want me to text you. I don't know what I was supposed to do. You don't want me to text you. I got to show up in person. UPS doesn't send nothing at 3 a.m. All right. And you won't accept any text. So here I am. Why are you mad? So I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I can't text you. What do I do now? How do I talk? All right. The middle of the night text, I get that. But a text at all, like you won't accept any text message, like you're going to block me for using SMS communication? Really? What happens if I'm in a library and I can't talk? Like, what am I supposed to do? Oh boy.
Got it? All right.
I think so. I don't know.
Value.
Value. All right. Well,
okay.
What about value?
Value. Take that in. Value. Just repeat it to yourself until it makes sense.
Value.
If you want to date a girl that has nothing going on, then that's fine. Okay. But please do not mix in people like me and my friends who have something going on with your other girls that have nothing going on. And by nothing going on, I mean this. There is no job that is unimportant. There is no job that's not valuable.
I can agree to that.
That's not worthy. It is. But if you want to...
Absolutely. I love that. This is unrelated to MGTOW, but I just want to make a point on this. I love that point so much. All jobs, in my opinion, as long as you're not like selling crack cocaine to little children or something, or you're not a molester, a pedophile, or a murderer for hire, you're not doing crime, okay? You're not harming society. As long as you make an honest living, I have respect for you. Obviously, someone who's like a janitor is going to command a different amount of respect to someone who is someone, I don't know, they're like an executive at a company, or they're someone who's working in uh, engineering, law, medicine, the stereotypical noble professions as dictated by society. I get that, okay? But honestly, I have a ton more respect for the honest, hardworking guy or gal working at a McDonald's or a Chick-fil-A or a Burger King or whatever other fast food, low-paying job that there is. I have a lot more respect for that person as opposed to the corrupt, politician making millions of dollars a year or hundreds of thousands a year, or that, corrupt company executive who does all sorts of shady stuff. I have a lot more respect for that honest working person. I want to say that. I just felt the urge to say that. It's not MGTOW related, but hey, my platform, I say whatever I want, right? I felt the urge to say that. That's a good point, Tomi. That's a good point. Like I said, this isn't an attack on Tomi. This is merely my examination, response, criticism, and whatever else to this specific video she's making. And there are some points in here that I raised my eyebrow at, and there's also some points in here that I can agree to. That last one was one I just agreed with. So yeah, I want to make that clear. This isn't an attack on Tomi. This is just my criticism of the video.
Mix in people like me and people like my friends who are go-getters, who work really hard, who make their own money, who are talented, skilled, ambitious. Please don't mix us in with the Tatianas. We don't want to be there. If that's what you want, find them. Please, for the love of God, do not mix us in with them because we don't want to be there. And quite frankly, we take it as an insult if we find out that you are also talking to 5 Tatianas who have nothing going on. People like me and my friends are going to be insulted by that. And there's almost really no coming back from it. So if you want that kind of a girl, the kind of girl who's just kind of happy going through the motions of life, not really super ambitious, hasn't really found herself yet, doesn't really have a whole lot going on other than she's pretty.
Oh, I think I remember something now. I remember when I saw this stuff, like I said before, at least I think I said it before. I saw this trending on Twitter or whatever a couple days ago. And there were some folks talking about, it was mostly some conservative folks, I believe, tweeting about how, oh, Tomi, this isn't like you, or I don't agree with this. I've been watching you for a long time. I saw a couple things like that. And from what I understand, I'm not a political person. I don't watch that stuff all the time, so I may be wrong. But from what I understand, the folks on the conservative side of things, from what I understand, they typically they're more for the traditional family unit. Okay, as in the husband is doing the work, the wife is the stay-at-home wife, and because of that, from what I understand is the held values of the conservatives, those conservative people aren't exactly so happy, shall we say, about Tomi's take on things, as in she's the one who is working and working and working and not slowing down. It's not my view, it's the view that I'm seeing from other folks. And that's just something I felt like I should add in here, given that she is a conservative commentator, and that's what her audience seems to be just discussing. So that's something I wanted to bring up. I felt that was relevant. What do you guys think? If you're conservative, liberal, I don't really care. I just want to hear your thoughts. As always, you can contact me via Twitter or email. I want to hear your thoughts on this. But yeah, that's just something I felt like tossing out there because I've seen that happen a couple times.
Please just go after them. And please do not mix us in. We don't want to be there. I promise you. So value. There's a lot of women out there that I know that are my good friends who have amazing jobs, who work really hard, but who can't seem to find a decent guy, even if they go up in age 5 to 10 to 15 years, because those guys all want to be with 21-year-olds who have nothing going on.
Oh, what that sounds, that sounds a little bit interesting. Don't that sound interesting? Don't that sound interesting? Okay. Couple of things I want to say. Number one, they can't find any good guys. Really? Are you sure? I mean, there's just certain things that make me want to stop and say, hold the hell on. What did you just say? Like, you know what I mean? And that, dude, it's a little bit difficult to comprehend because here's the thing. From what I understand, she and her friends, they're attractive, intelligent. What was the other one? They're high demanding. They're go-getters. That's it. They're go-getters. Yeah. If that's the case, I would imagine that there's realistically an endless supply of guys that would be going after them. And in that endless supply of guys going after them, they would probably find someone. Don't you think? Like they probably would. Like there's got to be a chance that there's someone going after them that they would like, right? Well, here's my take on this concept that attractive women can't find good men, aka the saying we've heard over the years, where have all the good men gone? Where have all the good men gone? Where are they at? Where did they go? Did they go to Mars? Did they go to the sun? Did they go to Jupiter? Are they in Uranus? Well, the bad boys are in Uranus, but not the good boys. Oh, that was so good. Sorry. I get ahead of myself sometimes. But yeah, going back to the points. Holy crap, dude. Listen, there are some things that are opinion and some things that are fact, okay? And I feel like the notion that women control the mating thing, as in they're the ones who are in charge of when sex happens and who gets with who mates with who, and such. All right. And that's not like, oh, well, yeah, see, according to this pseudoscience forum I read in 2008, a very, very credible internet wizard taught me that, like, no, this is like I got some scientific stuff to back this up. Hell yeah, I got science to back me up because it's MGTOW Academy, not just some, yeah, okay. So anyways, here's the article. For those of you on a screen watching this on YouTube, MGTOW.tv, CocoScope, whatever, you should be able to see this. It's on ScienceDirect.com. And as always, if you're listening to this as a podcast, you will, of course, be able to get the link to this. Read the journal article, whatever it is, from ScienceDirect.com. It is titled Women's and Men's Sexual Preferences and Activities with Respect to the Partner's Age, Evidence for Female Choice. The last couple of words, last 4 words are evidence for female choice. Keep those words in mind. Okay. So what does this mean? Is this a study that kind of suggests evidence that females are the ones in control of mating and dating and sex and everything? Possibly. Well, it's obviously from some incel MGTOW loser incel academy. It's not like it's from some credible source like the Department of Psychology and Logopedics and Department of Mathematics and Statistics from the University of Helsinki and Abo Academy University in Finland. So these are some Finland universities collaborating, for what it appears, to make this study. All right. It looks like we don't have access to the full study. We only got the abstract. If you want to get access to the thing, I can access it with my college, but I don't want to give that away because the screen recording, I'm going to have to give that stuff away. I think, guys, if you want to see the whole thing, just email the authors. They likely give it away for free. That's what I've heard. So if you want to do the whole thing, you can likely get it for free by emailing the authors, but we're going to read the abstract here. We're going to read the last section where it says, we conclude that women show larger developmental plasticity than men with regard to the desired object's age, and that men's heterosexual activity likely is constrained by female choice. Whoa. What's that last sentence? Let me highlight that. Men's heterosexual activity likely is constrained by female choice. Wow. How about that? That's almost suggesting that women are the ones who control factors in relation to heterosexual activity. You know, guys and girls banging and producing babies. Yeah. Wow. I wondered who just said that a few moments ago. And wow. Wait. We all know that the patriarchy has been inside science for hundreds and thousands of years. This is obviously some bullshit article from the 1700s by, let's see, this thing was published in, wait, what? 2014, 2015? Uh-oh. So that's 5 years ago as of recording. Wow. So it turns out we have a credible source to back up my claim, and fuck off, Windows virus protection. Sorry. No, seriously. It looks like this is actually a credible source that's from like an academic institution. It's not like from the 1700s, and it seems to be pretty legitimate. So, hey, how about that? But hey, there's more. Check this out. This is an article from Quillet.com, and it's basically proving the 80-20 rule on Tinder or on online dating, which is why I recommend you stay away from it. Stay the fuck away from it, seriously. But I want to just read these 2 paragraphs, okay? I want to read these two paragraphs to you guys, and I'll, of course, link it to you to check out the whole thing, but read this. Courts reported on the finding and also cited another article about an experiment with Tinder that claimed that the bottom 80% of men, in terms of attractiveness, are competing for the bottom 22% of women, and the top 78% of women are competing for the top 20% of men. These studies examined likes and swipes on Hinge and Tinder, respectively, which are required if there is to be any contact via messages between prospective matches. Wow. So what that is saying is that the top 20% of men is being sought after by the majority of women, and the majority of men are the majority of men are left to fend after the bottom percent of women, like the bottom 20% of women. So that's interesting. All right. Another study reported in Business Insider found a pattern in messaging on dating apps that is consistent with these findings. Yet another study run by OkCupid on their huge data sets found that women rate 80% of men as worse looking than medium, and that this 80% of worse looking than medium below average men that block received replies to messages only about 30% of the time or less. By contrast, men rate women as worse looking than medium only about 50% of the time, and this 50% below average block received replies closer to 40% of the time or higher. Dang. So what they're saying, looking at the numbers, doing the crunching, right, is that there is a higher percentage of men rated by women that are ugly. That's simply put. More women, okay, women will rate that the large majority of men are ugly. And those ugly men, for lack of a better word, the amount of received replies they got on those platforms was only about 30% of the time or less. And then when guys rate women, okay, all right, they say that it's 50% of the time. So men rate women as worse looking than medium only about 50% of the time, as opposed to 80% for men. And of that 50%, they received replies that's 40% of the time or higher, meaning that less women they are rated to be ugly by guys. So it's so confusing to word it, but guys think that girls are ugly, and of that percentage of girls I think that are ugly, that percentage they get more replies. All right, the numbers are I'm trying to describe it to the listener who doesn't have a screen and not confuse them. I hope I didn't confuse you even more. If you did, I'm sorry, but check out the article. I'll link you that. There's also a great medium.com article to check out that goes into it more in depth. But yeah, that just goes to show that there are more guys that are perceived to be ugly by women, and those guys get a lower percent of message replies. And for the women that are perceived to be ugly, even their replies are higher than guys. Like think about that if you can. Try to wrap your head around that if it's possible. If it's not too confusing, try to comprehend that. Like if you need any more evidence to prove that women are the gals in control of mating, dating, and fucking and making babies, I don't know what else to show you. I mean, I gave you a scientific journal article, and I gave you that study from medium.com and Quillet. So I wanted to touch on that. Like, you got to realize, a guy can't just say to his husband, well, I don't want to have sex with you. A guy can't say that. Okay, the wife does. The wife is the one who says, well, I guess you're not getting no sex for not doing the dishes. Yes, dude, I'll get on the You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to make that clear. I was watching some stand-up comedy, and that is so damn true. It's so damn true. There was a stand-up comedian. He was like a southern guy. I forgot his name. But it was Rodney Carrington, right? Rodney Carrington is the guy who said that. Yeah, he made that joke. And it's so damn true. Remember, girls are the ones who are in control of dating, mating, and fucking and everything. So when Tommy says that her friends can't find any good men, aka where have all the good men gone, I honestly struggle to understand what the hell that she's talking about. I don't exactly comprehend it. Furthermore, if you want to know where the decent men gone, as in the ones who are sane in the head and don't get fucked over by the courts, they likely walked away from marriage because it ain't worth the juice ain't worth the squeeze anymore, right? Maybe, just possibly, just some food for thought. Wow.
It's very unfortunate.
It is.
I don't think it's going to be fulfilling. But I would say to the men out there, kind of maybe find a woman that you can talk to, communicate with, might actually have her shit together, might actually be ambitious and have something going on or want to have something going on. I don't care what she does. She doesn't have to be on TV. She doesn't have to be a PhD. She doesn't have to be a television producer. She doesn't have to own her own company, but be ambitious.
Yeah, she doesn't have to. You know, who gives a fuck about what the women's like? We have to do it, right? We got to be the guy that's the fucking television producer. We got to be 6 feet tall, got a 6-inch dick, 6-pack abs, 6 figures a year, the 66666, whatever, right? Yeah, we know. She doesn't have to be like that, but we do. We got to be the breadwinners because apparently men and women are equal, but we still got to be the ones doing it, right? Like we got to be, you know. I mean, you rarely, if ever, will see a case where girls will go after someone who is lesser than them. Lesser meaning lesser or lower in social status, financial status, whatever. You really won't see that. You really won't. Guys will. Yeah, dude. I mean, like a lot of guys don't even care if their partner is someone who came off the streets, came out of jail, someone who don't have a job. All right? They don't care if they're tall, short, or whatever, as long as they're relatively healthy. Okay? They're decent, not even the like drop dead gorgeous, but decent. That's good. They don't care. But we, on the other hand, have to be 6 feet tall, gotta be this, gotta be that, gotta be, you know what I mean? That's just going back to the point again. I can say the exact same thing and mirror it for women. I can easily do it. You know, y'all don't have to. Yeah, y'all can be fine. Y'all can be homeless. Y'all can be tall, short, whatever. But we got to be the ones with the freaking 6 figures a year and 6 feet tall, right? That's what we got to be, apparently.
And have something going on. Those women out there are going to be a lot more fulfilling to you. You're actually going to enjoy your time. And if you actually might want a sustainable and healthy and stable relationship,
if it's worth the risk,
the kind of girl you're going to need to find. Not the Tatianas who just want to look cute and post Instagram stories. Now, I love a good Instagram story. Y'all know I do. Yes. I love a good boomerang. I love a good whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck a boomerang is. Let me go. Hey, Siri, what the hell is a boomerang? Oh, you don't know what that is. Great. Okay, well, quick check to Urban Dictionary tells me that a boomerang, it can mean a lot of things, but maybe a nightstand. I think like a one-night stand. That's what it looks like. So I think that's what a boomerang is. And it's like a bunch of weird shit. It's like a boomerang's like someone that you don't want to talk to, but they keep on coming back. I think, I don't know, man. I don't keep up with those terms. I don't know.
But if that's all you do, men, if that's all she does, probably Houston, we have a problem. Just going to let you in on a little tip. The next thing on my list is this: consistency. It really does not help me or my friends or any woman in general if you are really cool and you're really interested when you first start talking to them and then give it 3, 4, 5 days and all of a sudden you're not consistent anymore.
Who the hell does that?
You don't make plans. You don't really care. You kind of fade in and out. You're talking to 5 other Tatianas.
So either you're talking to a shitty person, okay, because you're trying to make something serious with them, but they obviously don't give a fuck about you, or you're hanging out with the guy that wants to pump and dump you because they're talking to 5 other Tatianas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's either one of those two options. That's what I'm seeing. It's either the person you're talking to is just a shitty person, or you're getting pumped and dumped by a guy. That's what it seems like. What do you think, fellas? Because that's what I'm seeing.
Consistency is important. Now, if you want to be inconsistent and you want to ghost and you want to fall off the radar, that's fine. But I'm going to give you a pro tip. People like me and people like my friends, we aren't going to really give a shit after that. We don't really care. The F's have been given and we're kind of done. I'll tell you this from personal experience.
I mean, you don't care, but you made a video about it, but all right.
Once I'm turned off, I am turned off. And I don't care anymore. Because at one point, I probably did care. At one point, my friends, they probably did care. They probably did like you because you expressed interest and maybe you were cool and maybe you were kind of fun to hang out with. But if you're not consistent and you fall off the radar, I give you maybe 1 to 2 chances to fix that because I'm a very direct communicator. Women, this is important. I will communicate to you. If your communication isn't great, I will let you know that.
Awesome.
I will let you know that more effort is needed.
Great.
But if you don't heed that warning and I have to warn you twice, I'm done at that point because I don't really care anymore. Now I'm done.
All right. Well, I mean, it's good that you have self-respect. Self-respect is important. It's a two-way street. Not a two-way street, but a two-way thing, if that makes sense. All right. Both people have to respect themselves, right, for that to work out, which is great, Tommy. I love that. I love how you got to respect yourself. That's important. Guys got to do that too. Guys, fellas, respect yourselves. But I mean, I really am getting the vibes. Really, really getting the vibes that you getting pumped and dumped. Like he shows interest, right? And then he just goes off the radar for a few days or whatever she said. It sounds like a pump and up. More and more as I continue to progress further into this video, it really, really sounds like a pump and up, fellas. That's what it's seriously sounding like.
Now I don't care. And I know my friends who are watching this are thinking and saying the same thing because we have these conversations on an almost daily basis. Once you turn us off, we don't care anymore. So let that be a warning to you. You're probably not going to circle back. They always come back. They always come back. But when you're ready to come back, I probably don't care anymore. So if you want to switch up, stay there.
I'm ready to come.
Pro tip.
Pro tip.
My last thing on my list is also very important. Don't be, excuse my language, don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch.
Demonetized.
Don't be a bitch. If you have then failed and you lost a woman of value, like myself or my friends,
all right,
and then we don't really care anymore,
you don't care.
Don't be a bitch. Don't be butthurt. You did it to yourself.
Really?
Okay?
What a surprise.
And it's no longer my problem. Now it's become a personal problem of yours. So don't be a bitch. And by the way, if I'm no longer interested because your effort is shitty, that's not me being a bitch. That's not me being difficult. That's me having a standard.
Yeah, that's good. Everyone should have a standard, guy or girl. I can agree to that, Tommy. Good point. Guys, absolutely have a standard. That's another MGTOW point to bring up. If you are seeing girls, have a standard. If you're not, just when it comes to working with people, I mean, have respect for yourself. The point of going your own way is to avoid the unnecessary financial and legal risk that comes with long-term cohabitation, aka marriage, in my opinion. That's the whole point of it. It's to avoid the risk. It's not worth it. So you live your life, do whatever the hell you want, right? But while you're living that life, have some self-respect. When you work with people, build up those relationships, whether it's work relationships, your friends with benefits, I don't care, right? Whatever. Have that self-respect. That's a great point. But yeah, let's keep going on. Like I said, I swear, it feels like a pump and up the longer I play this.
In which I expect from people. I do have high standards and high expectations. My friends have high standards and high expectations.
Now, when you say you and your friends have high standards and high expectations, does that mean those standards and expectations are like ridiculously freaking high that no one can even meet them? Like, is that what that means? Or does it mean that they just have self-respect? It's one thing for me to say, okay, I'm meeting a girl, I'm going to respect my boundaries. I will allow for this, this, and that. But if she ever does this or that or this, or you know what I mean? Like, that's the red flag. I'm going to back off. I'm going to call it out. You know what I mean? I can understand that. But if it's like, well, when I come out of my mom's basement and I got to stop eating her chicken nuggets and I go find myself a girlfriend, you know, she's got to be this and that. She's got to have this type of a body. She's got to be there for my every need all the time, 24/7. She has to be ready for having sex with me 24/7. Like, yeah, that's unrealistic. And I should, of course, be slapped in the face by reality whenever those expectations are not met. Likewise for women, when they hold unrealistic expectations for guys and it's not met, well, duh, you can't just say, all men are trash. I can't believe it. Like, I mean, if your expectations are unrealistic, duh, that's going to happen. That goes with anything in life. So I can't exactly understand what she means by high standards. It can mean a lot of things, depending on who you ask and whatnot. And it's an opinion-based thing also. But look, that's all I want to say, okay? High standards are good, but too much of a good thing can be a bad thing, right? That's the point I wanted to make.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
We've worked for those.
Why?
Okay?
What? You work for those?
We work hard.
Wow.
We're successful.
Know what else is hard?
We take care of ourselves. We try to look cute. We have a desire to be something more each day. Okay? That's why we have the ability to be somewhat what you call difficult. It's not difficult. We just have
difficult. Okay. Well, that has a lot of definitions, man. I'm not gonna really say much, but difficult. Yeah, it honestly depends on the person. There are difficult people who call other people difficult, which is true. Or there are difficult people who are called out for being difficult. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna make any further comment. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
baseline standard. And if you can't meet that standard, that's okay. A lot of men cannot. But if
Really?
you are one of
Wonder
those
why.
men out there, and I have them all over my DMs, sometimes I check them, and you guys are like, what would it take to be with someone like you? What would it take to be with your friends? What are girls like you? What are they looking for? I laid them out for you very simply there. In order to have a shot with a girl like me, or girls like my friends, girls that are worth a damn, you don't really have to be Brad Pitt. You don't have to be famous. You don't even really have to make a lot of money or have a really fantastic.
Oh yeah, you don't have to make a lot of money. You don't have to be Brad Pitt. But on the other hand, science, that article showing that women are the ones who control, heterosexual activity with guys and stuff like that. And that, what was that, a Tinder article, the 80-20 rule or whatever it was, where the top 20% of men, 80% of girls go after them, and then the rest of us, the the bottom 80% of guys, have to go over the bottom 20% of women. Yeah, sure. You don't have to be Brad Pitt. But if you want someone who's decent, you might have to be Brad Pitt. You know what I mean? So I feel like what's being said here doesn't exactly correspond with the data I'm showing you guys. And like I said, this isn't just some bullshit. Oh no, girls don't like me. It's obvious. Like I have data and shit to back it up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not just talking out of my ass here with my own experience. Some of it is my own experience, but like, I have evidence to back it up. All right. Not all of what I talk about is anecdotal evidence. Like, I have something to back up what I'm saying. And when you say, you don't have to be Brad Pitt to attract me, you don't have to make six figures and be this and be that. I mean, you don't have to. Technically, you don't. But it'd be really damn helpful if you were to be Brad Pitt, or if you were to make six figures, or you were to have six-pack abs and be 6 feet tall. Like, I get that. At the end of the day, this is all human biology. Okay, women are attracted to guys who display signs of strength. So that's what the physical attractiveness comes from. I get that. Like, women are attracted to guys who are richer because the more resources you have, the higher chance there is for survival. So this is all just simple evolutionary, scientific, biological shit, whatever you want to call it, that makes sense. Seeing it unfold in a modern society, if you will. Okay, I get that. But man, I feel like it's unrealistic to tell guys sometimes that you don't have to be Brad Pitt or whatever. Like, you have to have something. Yes, you have to have something. But don't tell them it's that easy, because it really isn't. I mean, come on, man. Come on.
Job. You just have to be determined. You have to be in some way successful in that you want to attain some certain kind of success for yourself. You're driven. You
Definitely.
have goals.
Yes.
You can handle a woman with standards. That's not going to turn you off.
Having something to go after in life is something I recommend for everyone, MGTOW or not. It works out for everyone. Number one, if you're MGTOW, having something to go after in life, be it a personal philosophy that you fulfill for yourself, or maybe it's a company you want to start, or it's a job you're really going after, or a life goal you want to meet, having that goal and being driven is awesome for you and you alone. Now, if you want to get someone in your life, like you want to date around, you don't want to get married, but you still want to just, your red pill wear or whatever, you want to just pump and dump or have a little bit of fun. Yeah, that also helps you, because girls do like that. No matter what, someone who is confident is attractive. That is something I've noticed everywhere. Like I said, before MGTOW, I've been in the dating, fucking mating scheme, whatever you want to call it, for a couple of years now. And that is something universal. Everyone loves someone who's confident, guy or girl. Confidence is awesome. And you can easily attain that by going after something you love, doing what you love to build that confidence up even more. So if you're MGTOW, that's great. It works out for you as an individual. And if you want to go beyond that, that also works for you. So, like I said, Tomi does make some pretty fair points here, but also some points that I would like to make some criticisms about, as you have heard. Let's keep trucking forward.
And you're going to put in the effort to be with somebody like myself or my friends. We deserve that. And we will not compromise our standards. I tell you this.
Well, I mean, everyone deserves something, and no one should compromise your standards, guys or girls. I agree, Tomi. I agree.
It will be a cold day in hell when I chase a man. And I know that's the same thing for my friends as well. And if my friends are listening and they're thinking about chasing a man, please, for the love of God, do not. Because there is not one single man on planet Earth, okay, that is worth making any woman feel like she is not good enough.
I thought men and women were equal. Why can't y'all chase us? I don't get that. I don't get that. I was taught ever since I was a baby that men and women were equal. How come? How come y'all can't chase it? Like, Tommy, that's something I don't understand. Like, I swore growing up as a kid and whatnot, now as a teen, that we were equal. How come y'all can't chase us? How come y'all can't ask us out? How come y'all can't propose to us? Get down on one knee. Will you marry me? How come y'all can't do that to us, huh? I thought we were equal, right? Like, what's going on? I don't understand. I thought we were equal.
I don't care how hot a girl is, how smart, how successful, how rich. We have all dealt with men who treat us like we are not good enough.
I don't care how hot, handsome, rich, powerful, strong, confident, smart, funny, intellectual a man is. He should not have to deal with a woman who undermines his value, reduces his self-esteem. We've dealt with them too many times. Women of 2020, you have been attacking men too much, and men don't deserve it. Like I said, it's the same thing that can be applied to anyone. It's not, in my opinion, a sex or gender specific issue. It's an issue of good people getting fucked with by bad people. I don't understand the whole, we have to make this about, it's about women or it's about men. It's about shitty people messing with good people. That's my take on it. Okay, that's my take on it. It's good people getting messed with by shitty people. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. But whatever. Let's keep going.
No, the problem is we are two enough and you can't handle it.
Really?
So those are my checklists. Again, I will go through them for you one more time in case you are just tuning in. Number 1, are you single? No, really. 2, make plans. We don't want a pen pal. 3, value. Value someone who has value. Consistency. Be consistent. Don't be great and then fade out. And then don't fade out and then think that you're going to fade back in, because it ain't going to work. And last but not least, if all else fails, don't be a bitch.
Wow.
Hope you guys have all enjoyed my PSA, my Instagram Live. I love you all. Hope I gave you some valuable tips and advice. But hey, those are just my final thoughts from Nashville, Tennessee in my kitchen. God bless and take care.
All right. Well, it looks like Tommy had some nice intentions for us. I may not agree with everything she said, but nonetheless, there was some good takeaways from there. I like a couple things she said, and that was pretty all right, if I do say so myself. And yeah, I'm not religious, but yeah, God bless whoever lives upstairs or not. I don't know. Thank you, Tommy, for the kind vibes. I appreciate that. Yeah, for those of you on a screen, you'll see that I have her Facebook thing page, whatever, pulled up here, and that I'm looking at the comments. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Like, God, I don't have time for. I don't got the time or the energy to go through all 23,000 comments. But this first couple comments got my attention. The first one says, as by Tomi Lahren, says, it appears to me the men getting triggered by this video are likely not men at all. If you were, you'd know this doesn't apply to you, and you laugh at all the wussy boys that don't know how to grow up and act right. I said what I said. As I said before, this appears to be that case where a guy fails to meet the prescribed standards given by girls, and when they don't meet the standards, they're called boys and not men. You know, name shaming. I forgot the name, but it's one of the shaming tactics I've kind of heard before of men not being men, but boys instead. So yeah, that's kind of something I already talked about, but yeah, the comment just showed it again. There's a couple comments saying, hey, you know, you could have said it nicer, and you know, things like that. The comments there's a lot of them. Y'all can check them out for yourselves. But I think they'll wrap it up for now in terms of looking at this whole Facebook page. As I said, the links to the Facebook video. I think I might even be able to find a condensed version of the video, 3 minutes or something, on YouTube to you guys for you guys to check out. The Facebook video, the possible YouTube video, the science article, the 2 articles about the Tinder experiment thingy. I'll be linking all that to you guys to check out for yourselves, as always. And I think that's all I really got to say right now about this whole PSA for boyish men. So yeah, as I said, I've been around the whole sphere of things like this happening for a while, and I've seen this happening before many times in one way or another, different names, but it's the same thing in general. Okay, it's men are doing this or women are doing this, and I can understand that to a certain extent. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's just people are being shitty, and that's all. And I felt obligated to address that. And something else the reason I want to make a whole podcast dedicated to the subject is because I feel like sometimes this can divide us instead of unite us. As much as I'm, someone who's MGTOW, identifies by the MGTOW label. If you see what I do in the YouTube comment section, if you ever do see me, if you see what I do on Twitter, if I do get the chance to have civil discourse with the opposite side, as in people who would call themselves maybe feminists, or maybe even people, I guess feminists, or people who would be clearly against the MGTOW label, I try to have civil discourse with them. Because what I've learned throughout the couple of years of doing this is that we will not achieve anything by dividing ourselves. Okay? It's okay to disagree. It's okay to say, hey, you want to get married? Sure. I'll show up to your wedding, do this, do that, but I'm not getting married myself. Okay? It's just like whenever your friends do drugs, if they do weed. I'm not going to do weed, but they can. That's their life. That's okay. We can be different, and I can accept that. All right? That's how I believe, in my opinion, that things should be. That we are all, it's the concept of egalitarianism. We're all different. We're not the same, but we should treat each other the same way. Right? And like I said, I just don't really like how sometimes content can be divisive sometimes, because that's not what I'm aiming to achieve. I'm not wanting to put this stuff out there and a guy's going to listen to this and say, I hate women now. I'm going to take a U-Haul van and run them over. I don't want that. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to hate no one. Hate doesn't do nothing but harm. It does nothing but harm. Okay, there's maybe a few chances where it can be positive, but yeah, it's very difficult to come up with those. And end of the story, end of the moral, whatever. Moral of the story is that hate isn't good for you. And I don't want you guys to see content like this and get fed up and say, women are my enemy. I don't want you to say that, okay? I want you to instead try to understand why these things are the way they are and just see it for what it is. As in, it's not a man versus woman issue. It's shitty people versus good people, right? That's just something I felt so obligated to say for the longest time. And I finally got an example to do it. So as I said, Tommy, no hard feelings. I appreciate your good intentions, but those are my responses and criticisms and whatnot to your PSA for Boyish Men. Well, that was certainly a long episode. I hope you learned a thing or two from what I discussed, and that you may possibly approach certain matters with a new perspective. As always, I want to hear from you, either it's your thoughts about this episode, if you need a friend to talk to, or you just want to say hi. You can leave a comment if the platform allows it. If not, my Twitter handle is at all caps MGTOW, followed by Academy. The first A in Academy is capitalized, and my email address is mgtowacademy.media@gmail.com. I try my best to respond to everyone. Of course, the links to all the stuff involved in this episode will be in the description for you to check out on your own. It's been good and fun as always, but it's now time for me to head on out. So we'll talk soon, my friend. But until next time, I wish you clear skies and tailwinds. This is MGTOW Academy signing off.